I want to start off, who here has actually heard of Leonardo da Vinci? Alright, how many people know of him as an artist? What about an inventor? Alright, he's actually both. And he has many famous artworks. He's got several inventions of all kinds. And I'm going to start with some of his artwork. So, how many people recognize his first painting? What about the second painting? Third painting? Alright, I was expecting. I sort of was, but I saw some hands. Alright, the first painting here, a lot of people know it as Mona Lisa, painted around 1506 when it was finished by Leonardo da Vinci, of course. It's actually one of his employer's wives. And the next one, not Mona Lisa, Last Supper here, as it's called. It was finished around 1498. It depicts Jesus Christ in the center there, and his disciples. And Judas is actually, I believe I noticed this, the only one without the halo, and he's holding some money. Because he's the one who sells out Jesus. The third painting is known as the Madonna on the Rocks, or the Virgin on the Rocks. There's actually two different versions of this painting, and this one was finished around 1486. The two versions are very distinct differences. Like the angel seen at the right isn't pointing in the other version. But both are very, very similar paintings, but nobody knows why they're different. So, next are a few of his inventions. These are some of his sketches. He created essentially the first helicopter. He created a design for a tank, and he created a design for a parachute. The tank, I want to start with the tank because it was one that kind of worked. None of the sources I found, they said that the way he designed the tank, the wheels would work against each other. So if it was built exactly how he designed it, it wouldn't work. But they also compare it to other newer tanks, and I'll get to that in a bit. His helicopter, it didn't really work out the way he intended it to, but again, I'll touch more on that on my next slide. His parachute, however, he never actually tested that himself, never got around to it, never really designed it, he never really completed one, just because of all of the work he was doing for employers, with students, all kinds of things he did. The parachute he made was far heavier than our modern parachutes, and it was actually tested around the year 2000. And why I'm going to touch more on all this on my next slide is because they're the same things. Our modern helicopter, you can see the kind of rotor at the top here it's kind of like an inspiration, or kind of like building off of it. So he kind of made the first blueprint, and then others worked on it, got it to work right. The tank, as you can see, modern tanks here, they have the treads. They don't have the wheels to work against each other. But actually, Leonardo's tank is sloped all the way around, which some of the sources I found, they said that actually provides a better defense compared to the flat surface of this modern tank. Even though his was made out of wood, theirs was made out of metal. Then here's our modern parachute. It's a lot lighter than Leonardo's. You can see he made a kind of pyramid. We've got a hole at the top and this round shape. The guy who tested Leonardo's parachute he actually took both parachutes, and for a while he just kind of glided around using Leonardo's with the modern parachute as like a backup in case, oh, this is not going to work at all. And he actually said it was a lot smoother of a ride, but again, Leonardo's is really heavy, being made out of wood, made out of canvas, heavier materials than our cloth. I don't really know right off. But ours is a lot lighter, his is smoother. He did not test landing in Leonardo's parachute just because of the weight of it. But he did think it was a smooth ride. And here I have all my picture sources. But anyway, I'll wrap this up here. Leonardo, he is apparently very well known as an artist, but he was also an inventor that he touches quite a bit on our lives even today, having inspired other inventors, having come up with some inventions himself that we've adapted. And I showed 3 of his inventions, but it's very far reaching, and he goes all over the place with his inventions. So